welcome back to Nerd Rage during the daytime.
Doesn't hit the same.
Nerd Rage before dark. Anyway, is Joey and Farrell with me? Are you not plugged in?
Yeah.
Where are you at here?
No, I think I'm
Completely loose.
yellow.
Yellow. Oh, you're just turned down. Gotcha. I turned it down because it was giving feedback. All of them were giving feedback the other day.
And Bobby hates feedback.
Positive or
Positive or negative. Just pretend I didn't do it. Just pretend I wasn't there.
Give me a little bit more. I need a little bit more
Of course.
bass
Of course.
in my.
Of course. There you go.
There's snare drums.
So exciting Nerd Rage announcement that we talked about briefly last episode after we left, or after we pressed stop rather.
Was this the $20 tier?
No, not yet. Not yet. Keep it in your pants for now, Pharaoh. So Nerd Rage Radio is now going to be technically 2 shows. Nerd Rage Radio is now me, Joey, and Farrell. And then we will try to incorporate a Nerd Rage After Dark, where we will be inviting Angry Gary and Chris to everyone that we can make possible.
Nice. We used to do like an extra episode once a month, like fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, that was when Patreon was just getting started.
Yes.
And then actually, I mean, the story to that is that, that stuff started to seem like a chore. Specifically to Adam.
Yes.
So
to somebody.
Yeah. and to be fair, I mean, we weren't offering a ton on Patreon at the time. I think you and I were doing a Dio video. Mm-hmm. We were doing an extra show and
random stuff. What, like the lighting for the cabinets?
I think even that I turned into a sit down Saturday. I can't remember, but like, and then I was like, look, if you give me the Patreon, I'll run it up and
you do everything. Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like,
yeah. And everybody was like, cool. And then that was that.
And then he put on 86 more shows.
Yep. And that was around 2019 that started.
I'm waiting for the 87th.
Yeah. I know what it is. It might be a different tier. But
yeah, dude.
I got to get Laura to commit to it right now. She still wants that part of her life private.
She thinks it's private. What little does she know?
So imagine what's not. Yeah. So this way we don't have to shout out Chris every episode. He's in our hearts. Just know that we will invite him for when we have After Dark, and I'm going to try to schedule it once a month. I can't promise it, but I will try to schedule.
Just know he's in an airport somewhere
or a hotel room.
Every time you see a plane in the sky, just let your heart feel warm that somewhere up there he's
cramped and looking down.
He's cramped and looking down,
and probably watching The Expanse.
So today. We just recorded Thursday, and this is Tuesday. And
Wednesday.
Oh, shit, Wednesday. So almost a week, but it might be a shorter show. Might not be. Who knows? We never know. Sometimes we say it's going to be a shorter show, and then we start getting into some sort of conversation, and it ends up being a longer show. So, but we have 0 notes, and I don't think we have any questions.
But 0 notes because you cut all of Phil's notes, or if he didn't give us any notes?
I cut all of them.
So you can't say we didn't have any notes.
It's true.
We don't have any notes that Mike wants to talk about.
Yes. We didn't have any notes that I thought might lead to some conversation. That's really what I'm looking for. I don't want to just report like in Spider-Man news. You know what I mean? I want to be like,
what happened with Spider-Man?
Look, this thing happened. How do we feel about it? What do you think about it, etc. So in that case, Joe, you got your coffee first. Farrell, how was your nerd week?
Oh, it was great.
Good. That's good news. That's good news.
I don't really know what happened.
Did you go to trivia?
I didn't. So I decided to go. Well, I'll start with Saturday and Sunday was kind of a wash. A lot going on, not much pod appropriate.
Yeah.
Finished up a class I'd been taking, so that was cool to get that off the agenda.
Was Plowman in that class?
No, she's in a different one. Yeah. So she asked me to share notes with her to help her. Got a 92% on the final. No big deal.
Yeah.
So that kind of like zapped the whole fucking weekend. And I was going to go out Sunday night, and I had a very early morning on Sunday. And by like 5 o'clock, I was just ready to go to sleep. So I was like, fuck, I can't go out like this. So on Monday, in lieu of trivia, because I ended up working a little bit later than I wanted to, I went back to the American Legion and hit $325 on a pull tab.
I don't even know what that means, but it sounds good. I'm making some noise.
So like they're think about like a super low budget scratch off.
Okay.
So instead of putting a scratchable film on it, it's just a card stock where it's two of them together. One is printed with all the, if you won or not. The other is like glued to the front, and it's perforated so you can just open the little windows.
It's like that
almost
thing
like
that you get at Christmas. You open one every day.
An advent calendar.
Advent calendar.
So you open the little windows, and it reveals if you've won or not. And I had like $20 on me, and I was like, give it a fucking shot. $325.
Damn, that's fucking awesome. Remember in Batter Santa when he ripped through that fucking advent calendar and then like taped it back together and put like candy corn in it
and like miniature liquor bottles. So that was cool. That paid for the fucking night, like 20 times over. So the latest episode of From came out, and I was going to watch it last night and then pass the fuck out. So I didn't watch much, didn't do much.
Might be a shorter show than I thought.
Yeah. So all right. So
I got a couple of things, but
so woke up this morning to the news that Thomas Massey lost his primary, which is
he's a soccer player from what I understand.
Massey.
So he's the.
Good job, Bobby.
He's the Republican that has kind of come out against Trump on a lot of the big things.
Wasn't he for RFK Jr. though? Is that the guy?
Yeah, no. So he's still a hardcore Republican MAGA guy. It's just he was the one that sponsored the bill for the Epstein file release, and that pissed off Trump a lot. So Trump helped lobby against him, and his opponent who beat him set the record for the most money raised by AIPAC.
That's weird.
So, like, tens of millions of dollars.
The nice thing about it, the only like saving grace about all of that, right, is that they're politicians,
And they also,
so you don't have to worry about any corruption or anything.
right.
It's all on the up and up, of course.
And the crazy thing is, like, and this is less about the politics and more about like humans and nature, like just in general. So his opponent was this guy. On paper, sounds fine, right? So
They all sound fine on paper.
30
actually,
years,
not anymore, but yeah. They try to be. They
try to be.
30 years in the Navy as a Navy SEAL, right? Like had run before in like 2012 or something like that, and had narrowly lost in some other thing. But he declined all 8 requests to have a debate against Massey. So the people know nothing.
Yeah, who is this guy?
About him.
Yeah.
And then you just dump a bunch of money into advertising, and then Trump says, I like this guy more, and he wins against a guy who has been in the news and established and everything like that. So it's just a really weird, like, almost a criticism on democracy itself. Because if it's just who the television is saying to vote for, then why are we voting?
I mean, that's why I
this-
asked
you know
that question before about the signs on the lawns. Like, who's that for? But I guess it's just for people who want to put a name in the paper.
So like the near where Farrell and I hang out sometimes, there's a county election going on, prepping.
Oh, that huge sign. They're both.
And there's this huge fucking sign for this candidate. And
Not a bad picture.
no, she's hot.
Not upset.
Yeah.
It could be bigger.
Yeah. I wish she had more billboards in that bloody town. And more open chest shirts. But she has like
it changed
because she's got
a
it.
little.
She's got it uncut. It
know,
comes
I
down,
know.
but I mean, I want that maybe a little lowercase v as opposed to uppercase v. But but anyway, like I don't have any idea of the political nature of that town, really. I mean, I have a rough understanding due to other circumstances, but I'm like, she's undoubtedly going to win. just because look at the other signs. Like the machine is telling everybody,
right?
You know, the machine is speaking loud. Most people, I think, maybe I'm wrong. Most people don't really understand global politics or national politics.
I don't think most people understand politics.
But they certainly do not understand local politics.
Oh, no. Nobody does.
So, like, I mean,
Except
I can't...
for like the 7 people who are into it.
Yeah, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've voted locally and been like, fuck, like, I got to spend all morning researching these motherfuckers before I make a decision.
Well, and the sad thing is that you're probably in the top 10 percentile of people who have.
Yeah, I'm most educated, even though I did a pump and dump, so to speak.
You know.
Yeah. So like, but when I see that, I'm like, you know, the majority of people are just driving past this every day. They're seeing this woman, they're seeing this name in big bold letters, and I think even like on a subconscious level, if those people end up voting, which who the fuck knows, when they sit there and they just see the name, it's just almost like name recognition. It's you know, I'll have a Coke not because I don't like Pepsi, but because I know Coke, you know, or whatever.
Or it's what I default to, what I say.
Right.
Yeah. So it's either that or the R or D next to the
yeah, that's part two. But I think in this particular case, it's just all D, so to speak.
I think one of the problem, which suppose, you know, in spirit is a good thing, but I think is a problem, is like how people are pressured to vote. I think if you don't know, I think it's better if you didn't.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just like if you don't have anything smart to say, don't say anything at all.
That's a good point. Maybe the pressure should be to get educated.
Yes, but only pressure is to go out there and vote first. Well, no. Actually, they say that, but really, vote for my party is what they really mean. But they want to push everyone to vote. It's like, if you don't know who you're voting for, maybe you just shouldn't. Yeah,
maybe you're not the target demographic.
That, and I think it skews the results towards idiocy, because you are just putting names down because you see tits or big screen or whatever.
Maybe not necessarily towards idiocy, but it gives them a false, like, mandate. Well, it's like, I won this election, so people obviously want me to do what I've been saying. And it's like, no, 90% of people don't know what the fuck you were saying.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
and I think we know, I think most people agree to take money out of politics, right?
Yeah.
But no, if you're not a politician, you should agree with that. But then if you vote that way, then you're voting towards money. It's like, you want to take money out of the system, but like, the people are voting for whatever money's dumped into advertisements, so you become part of the problem if you're just voting because of
name recognition.
Yeah, but they're not considering that at all,
because they're not.
Well, no, because that's the third layer down, and they haven't even scratched the surface.
Correct.
And like I miss. We've always assumed politicians. Well, not always. For the longest time in human history, we have assumed politicians are corrupt. I miss when they used to hide that shit.
Yeah. I mean,
now it's just like they're just blatantly doing it, and people are just either apathetic like me, who's just like, fuck, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Hey, look at the dog. One one's looking that way, the other one's looking the other way. You know, just,
is the independent is the guy that says, "What do you want from me?"
Yeah. What do you want from me? So it's like you either are not doing anything about it, or it feels powerless because you can see it, and then nothing is being done or looks like can be done about it because they're just doing it.
Yeah.
Because I think they're emboldened. It's like, we have these child molester files that no one can make us release, apparently, so we're just going to keep not releasing it.
And then the same poster has the Apple on it, like this, you know, educators endorsed on the same poster. And it's like, you know, like, look, I believe the children are the future.
Oh, teach them well and let them lead the way.
But and I think that teachers get treated like shit in a lot of ways, and I don't envy them at all. And I think they got to deal with a lot of bullshit from these kids. I mean, Selena telling those stories, like, you know, she didn't even tell this one where that teacher, his first name is Brian, and the kids fucking moan his name when he goes to write on Brian, like when he's like writing on the blackboard, Brian, and like then who said that, you know, and they're like all of them are like lock-lipped, you know. So like they had to deal with a lot of bullshit. I have sympathy for them, but
it sounds like Brian's kind of a douche.
But the teachers union, at least here, I can't speak for everywhere, but them motherfuckers get away with murder.
Oh, 100%
murder. But Joe Schmo doesn't consider those things, right? They just want their kids to get a great education, which is fair. So when they drive past, they see the big poster, they see educator endorsed. I know all I need to.
Who? I know.
Real quick, and I'm gonna pass it right back to you. I'm sorry, but I don't even know if a Republican candidate is going to run. I heard that recently.
What do you mean?
For the county executive.
Where? Here?
At the other place. I heard that like they can't find somebody because they're just like, for what?
Yeah, it's wasting my time.
Yeah, no, we're not going to win. Like, I'd rather work on this Lego.
Oh, yeah, work on Lego. At least you have something to show for it.
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. I cut you off.
No, I was just saying, I know quite a few dentists and many pharmacists.
Did you say dentists?
Yes, dentists.
Okay.
I think it's denti.
No, many denti, and also doctors, obviously. None of them has ever been asked about product. So like whenever I see like 9 out of 10 dentists or pharmacists recommend, like nobody asked me. I've been a pharmacist for 15 years. No one's ever asked me what to recommend. Right. Who says that?
Right.
Well, to be fair,
I'm definitely 9 out of 10 pharmacists.
They normally check like when you're in line to vote. They're like, "Are you a dentist or a pharmacist?"
Oh, that's why I don't know because I don't go vote.
You're just the 10th.
I'm the 10th.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just, and I hate to be like, when I do talk about politics, to be anti the current administration, but like the fucking slush fund that came out for the anti-weaponization. Did you see that?
I've been out of it for a bit because I've been bogged down with a lot of shit.
So he was suing the IRS.
Oh yeah.
For $10 billion.
Nice.
I like the sound of that.
Because his tax return was leaked by an IRS employee. So now all of the IRS, which means all of us, are culpable. Right. But they settled. And the settlement was that the IRS would no longer investigate him, his family, or any of his companies.
That doesn't sound
like a fair settlement.
And
it doesn't sound like the thing you should be allowed to get immunity for.
And creating a $1.6 or $1.7 billion fund that's called like the anti-weaponization of the Justice Department, so that people that feel that the Biden administration's Joe Biden, if they feel like the Justice Department was used as a weapon against them, they can file a claim and collect money. So all the January 6th people that got locked up are now eligible to receive compensation from this.
That's a byproduct of their focus, I guess. Yeah.
So it's just like all of it just like doesn't pass the sniff
How
test.
can you motherfuckers like across the board, and sometimes I'm using the term literally and sometimes I'm using it figuratively, but you professional legislators can't legislate professionally.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Just people being people.
It's also just the number of on both parties of like corpses that are occupying fucking seats.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the fuck do you understand about current modern day anything?
Yeah. There should like that's one thing that I always agreed with, because Adam and I have disagreed a lot with politics and shit, but it's one thing I always agreed with him with, that every term should have a limit, and
every seat should have a limit. Every fucking seat should have a limit,
and every law should have a twilight. So like,
so like if it
every law has
we have to
back.
repass it and we have to reconsider it. Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Because it's like Mitch McConnell
is still alive.
Yeah, he's still in office.
Oh.
So that like he gets wheeled in a wheelchair, right? And people are like talking to him, and he's like looking right through them. The lights are off.
They're like, "Can you mute that machine, please?" Dude. Dude.
Like he's another one that died 10 years ago, and nobody told him.
Right.
So I don't know if it's like some sort of fraud in order to keep collecting his salary, and like his office just splits up the money. Like, just don't tell anybody Mitch died.
We can't burning him.
But these sunglasses on his lifeless eyes.
And then there was
he wears glasses. Maybe they're like meta glasses in reverse, or like they project an image of his eyes being active.
Oh, they don't do a good job. He's straightforward.
Well, they're trying to make you believe it.
Dilated. I mean, there was a Democrat that's also, she's in her early 90s or something like that, and somebody asked her a question and she lashed out at him like, oh, don't fucking ask me. You're like, who are you?
Well, it's
And,
Judge Judy.
Was that the one about money being used by companies? Like I saw one.
I think so. Yeah.
That lady was like, you were sponsored by Boeing and this, that, and the third, and he's like, you had a $7 million such and such. And he's like, I'm not the one question here.
It's just like the whole thing is just fucking insane to me.
Yeah.
That's why I get confused when people like look at me sideways, and I think computers can do it better.
Yeah. So like, I just
It's all computers.
I just don't have any faith in them either.
Yeah. No, but that's the. I don't think computers are perfect, but I just have more faith in the machine than in human politicians specifically.
Yeah.
Well, so the
Not
problem
maybe
is,
not considered they're humans because they're good humans.
Oh, for sure.
even behind the computer, it's just who wrote the code.
Yeah, but there's a lot more people involved that goes into writing a complex code to make it work than.
Well, I mean, there's
probably
probably,
popping a guy up on TV and making him speak.
is it more or less than 800? Because there's 800 elected politicians that are fucking us every day. You know what I mean? Like, it's not hard when it's,
Well, collectively, it took a long time to get to where we are.
you know, but
Yeah.
it's just like, you know, so when I watched that not documentary, the movie on, what's his name from the Nazis?
Hitler.
No. The other
Oh,
one.
that can't be the name of the episode. We should give him a
Russell Crowe played him recently.
Robin Hood.
Gladiator.
The second in charge of the Nazis. I can't remember his name now.
Oh, the one, right? No one cared because he's a second in charge, and no one gives a shit
Yeah,
about a second
I
in
know
charge.
who you're talking about. But I could identify his name on a
the
multiple
Nuremberg
choice.
trials was the big thing where they caught him. But the guy that the doctor that interviewed him, that the movie is about, came back to the U.S. and was saying like it's not a one-off. This Nazi thing, like those people exist in our country too.
Yeah.
There's lots of them.
Oh, we see him now.
Right, and you just don't realize
still
it.
around.
And he said, you know, he at least in the movie, I don't know what was actually said in real life. So he's like, look, there's a huge amount of the population in the United States in 1947 or whatever that would gladly sacrifice half of the country in order to step over them and be in a better position. So it's like all politicians are subject to that pitfall of just like, oh no, I just got to worry about me and my group and retaining what I have and advancing my family and fuck those people. I don't even know their names.
That's human nature to just
So-
be like my shit.
It's just
First and foremost.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been.
I also think that like when you talk about leaders, they should be getting paid the average of the people that they're leading.
Well,
They get the lobbying money is like
No, take that out of it, just as a salary. Like the county executive making $300,000 a year, the average of that county is not $300,000 a year. So that average is $65,000 or $70,000, whatever it is. Okay, so plus 10, $80,000 a year is what you deserve.
that was what I was talking about before when we were having a discussion about billionaires and CEOs and stuff. And I was like, how do we make it fair? How do you cap the salary? I'm just like, you just make their salary as high as the highest, well, 10 times the highest of your lowest paid employee. That makes a huge difference. If your lowest paid employee is what's your minimum wage, and you get 10 times that, you might want more. You might want to raise their fucking.
These are two different trains of thoughts because one is government, right? So they're getting paid by the people. The people are paying them directly with taxes to pay for their salary. Now, with the CEO thing, I always go back to this.
They're paid by the people's work. If they have no employees, they have no company.
Yes, but the employees are there because they're providing something. They're providing something that people are buying, right? So like you're like I'm making podcasts that people are buying, right? So like
so keep on buying.
yeah, at Patreon at the photo, you know. But like the government is meant to govern, not produce necessarily. So like there's a difference there. Now when it comes to CEOs and shit, I always like this thing that I think it was McConnell that was talking to me about it one time. But follow me on this one. So numbers are arbitrary to me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they are.
I think it was like in the 50s, right? There was some regulation in place, and I'm generally against government regulation, but there was some regulation in place that was like, numbers are arbitrary to me. If you make if you make $1 million, you are in the highest tax bracket. If you make $1,001,001, that $1 is taxed at 99%. So everything over this cap is taxed at like 99%. And what that ended up doing was forcing CEOs to give like that's where like the Christmas bonuses and all that shit came from, because they'd much rather their people get it than Uncle Sam. And that's how you had the kind of like, I think what the Make America Great Again thought is supposed to kind of make you think of, like the single family home, the white picket fence, mom stays at home and works, dad has a fun day at work, comes home and he feels invested in the company, and he opens up his lunchbox and the wife cleans it out and then dinner's on the table, and you know what I mean, and all that kind of shit. It comes from that era, and that era was in part, there was World War II, post-industrialization and all that kind of stuff that played a part too, but it played a part in the prosperity of the American family, because companies got taxed at this very legit high rate, and they were able to make a very decent wage of $1 million or whatever it was, but that $1 afterwards and everything, 99%. And then everybody ate a little bit more.
That's good. Why don't we have that anymore? That's good for everybody, because like it caps people from getting too much money. Because I think that's such a thing. I think what you want, there's such a thing as too much. It incentivizes helping the lower rung people, and even if the dude is like, no, fuck it, we'll let it get taxed, then it will benefit the country for getting tax money. That's like this kind of all wins, except for the CEO guy who's already making more than enough, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
and it's important too, because like what we've seen with Amazon and some of the other huge companies out there, the bigger they get, the more they just control that entire market.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to have anti-monopoly.
But that's like,
but
that's how it works. That is how, like, people say free market, but like that is just where free market goes always. That's why you have to like try to curtail it
your way out of it.
Yeah. So like you can't just be like, free market says it all. It's a no, because we know all roads ends in monopoly.
Well, and then there's also the fact that like the free market of America is also dealing with the global market of the world, and the global market of the world doesn't necessarily have those things in place. Specifically in certain places, like you'd look at like the company, like I think it's Luxottica or whatever, they like own all eyewear in the world. Like if you didn't buy, I think your glasses from Walmart, ironically, or Costco, ironically, you're buying it from this company. Doesn't matter if they're Ray-Ban or Oakley or Gucci or Lens Crafters, fucking contact lenses or whatever.
That was wild.
You thought I joined the Bloods?
I thought you were talking about Mr. Monopoly's promise.
Yeah, like you're, or you go to Sunglass Hut or whatever. Like it's all owned by this company, and it's an Italian company. So I mean it's tricky, but I do like stuff like that. Now where I do have questions, like when I start to think through it, like, okay, well how would you put up borders for everything, right? Part of my nerd week is Drake, right? So after the show last week, Farrell and I actually listened to one of 3 albums that Drake dropped at midnight. 3 complete albums, which also rumor wise clears him from his contractual obligations at Universal Music Group, which he's been in legal disputes with all year, actually since 2024. So
since he lost that rap battle,
yeah, and claims that
they had a finger in it.
That they had a finger in it, and they probably did. In that system that was put in place to prop Kendrick up, it was there and it did work, but Drake didn't have any complaints about it when it was working for him. For years before. But be that as it may, separate argument and conversation. But like, so now let's say that Drake is out of this contract and he is a free agent, right? And of course, Universal Music Group is going to want to keep him. He's one of the biggest selling recording artists of all time, right? So there's talks, rumors, speculation that he might be sitting in a place where his contract might be $1 billion contract that they try to offer him. So this is where I come with this. So obviously if Universal Music Group has these billions of dollars, right, then they have access to billions of dollars. Now Drake has a team, undoubtedly, right? Security and merchandising people and managers, producers, like the whole, everything, stage people, the whole bit, right? He's got a team of people that obviously work underneath him.
Some behind him.
Yeah, but like So, but that's a that case, right? So, like, if Drake gets $1 billion, it's like, man, like, I don't know if the light guy deserves to be a millionaire.
Right.
You know, like I think the producers and, you know, the people that are responsible for making the music and the management and stuff like that. But when you start getting into, like, I'm like, man, like, I just don't know, like, why no light guy, you can hire a different light guy. You can't replace Drake.
Well, I think you could replace Drake, but
you know, for the sake of discussion.
So, but the concept of everybody going up with him, though, doesn't mean that the lighting guy needs $1 million, but he shouldn't be making $42,000 a year either.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know what he makes.
But why cap anything? We don't cap everything. Like, why can't, like, why doesn't he deserve it? Like, why does the fucking guy at Chipotle only get so much?
So Chipotle's different. That's what I'm saying, is like the Chipotle thing makes more sense to me. But when I think about, that's why I started that whole bit with, when I try to think about, when you put borders around everything, does it all make sense? And that one, I'm not sure does, because, like, it's selling goods and services. Like Chick-fil-A selling goods and services, right? They're selling chicken sandwiches and varieties thereof, which are fantastic and delicious, and I wish I had one right now. But Drake is selling Drake's music, and there is a handful of people that are responsible for Drake's music, but the team is much larger, but they're not responsible for the product.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, why would you say someone just deserve less instead of other people deserving more? I think that's one of the problems that, like, we have, is just people be like, oh, why should he get that much money, when we're like, well, there's $1 billion there. Why not? Why not let people thrive? Why,
because there's people. There's,
if Drake wanted to give his lighting guy $1 million,
that's fine.
It's just, if you put regulation in to say, like, if the company makes $1 billion, then every employee in there must make at least $1 million. Then, I mean, they have a hand in it. Like, you can call it the small part, but he's there. He had a job for a reason, right?
Yeah, but
it could be somebody else, sure, but, like, that position.
But what if I would do it for $90,000?
Well, that's the problem, when people undercut each other and just stamp on each other. That's
but sometimes but I think that there is a checks and balance to that, where, like, of course there's extremes, right? But, like,
that's why we have minimum wage,
right? But it's like you
can't undercut below that,
right? And we're all for,
and I don't know what it is now. It used to be ridiculously low,
super low.
It's super low. So it's still super low. So it's still a problem.
It is,
and it doesn't matter, because the minimum wage doesn't matter, because as soon as you raise minimum wage, they raise prices, because the bottom line stays the same.
Well, that's kind of crazy to me, though. So, like,
it's crazy to me too.
No,
and it's funny. It's funny to me,
and I don't know if I've talked about it on here before, but there was an article 15 or 16 years ago that said, if they raise the minimum wage, if all McDonald's employees, the minimum wage of a McDonald's employee went up to $10, this is, like I said, 15 years ago, they would have to raise the price of the Big Mac.
Why?
1 penny.
Why can't they just make less money?
No, but I'm just saying.
I'm so upset. If you have $1 billion to give, why would you just not let people have the fucking money? Jesus Christ,
Joey, listen.
I'm having an existential crisis for a minute, and it just bothers me that you're gonna fucking give this guy who fucking sing and dance a fucking $1 billion so you can make more billions that you don't fucking need, because you can just throw it away.
Because without him, there is no billions.
But
without the stage guy, there's still billions.
I don't care. I'm saying, you already have too much. You don't have to raise the prices on anything.
But they're not raising the prices. And that's why I'm talking about this scenario specifically. Because it's goods and services, but it's based on a handful of people's talent.
But it's just people's money. How much did they charge for records or whatever? They don't have to charge that much.
$1.29.
Well, they could charge less. They could charge 50 and they would have $500 million.
50 cents?
Whatever it is.
Because I mean, like,
why do we need it?
Because there has to be a standard, right? So Drake obviously benefits a lot more from the $1.30, right? And he could probably easily cut down to 50 cents and still be super, super. But, like, I couldn't. You know, if I was relying on it, or, you know, the indie band or whatever that's selling their records for a $1.30, they need all of that $1.30, you know, and probably more, you know, but it's that's the industry standard, right? So it's like, because there's an ebb and flow to that shit is what people are willing to spend. So it's like, if I come out and like, I'm a nobody and I'm trying to make it happen, I can't sell my song for $5. I can't compete against the people that are super established, super big fan base, et cetera, et cetera. You know, like, so it's like that's why I'm bringing up this point specifically, is because when I go through this exercise myself of like capping money, which I think in like 98% of the circumstances works perfectly. And it's like, but it's like not every shoe fits every foot, because it doesn't make sense to me here.
But that's life though, right? But like what we try, well, not what I want out of humanity is that we do that's supposed to be what governments or representatives do, right? You do what's best for as many people as you can that needs it. Right?
But it's not that many people that we're talking about. And like, that's where it gets tricky. That's why I think it's an interesting thing to consider, is because we're not talking about hundreds of people. You know, we're talking about 50 people and 10 of them are responsible for the product.
Wouldn't just say that's just a problem of the industry itself?
So I don't think it's a problem, because like the truth is like,
no, you're right. You know, like that's the other side. People are the worst enemy. People are the problem. The people who are willing to pay $600 to have nosebleed seats to see whoever the fuck they want to see. That's the problem. So that's fine.
Yeah, but
that's fine. I mean, that's where the money comes from. The money comes from the people. So that's
how is that the problem though? If somebody wants to have an experience.
No. It's not. I mean, it's part of the greater whole, right? Like that's where the money comes from, right? So we don't want to give money to, I don't know, the cliche. We don't want to give money to teachers and soldiers and service workers, but we want to give all our money to entertainment, which, you know, footballs and whatever. I mean, I'm the one in the wrong, because obviously that's how society works. That's what people want. So they get what they want. They're willing to spend that money on that, but not on other things. And this is what we get. So it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I also think that that's not, I don't think that, I mean, I just got finished saying, I think people actually do want to give money to teachers, and perhaps more money than the teachers deserve.
I mean,
often case.
How many people donate money to, say, the I don't know, volunteer firefighters with the boots in the intersection versus, or the basketball kids or the car wash kids trying to get money for wherever the fuck, versus spending it on whatever the fuck we spend it on. So, you know, like you like money talks, right? Like you vote with your wallet. Your fucking actions speak louder than words. You can say you want to support whatever the fuck, but if that's not how you're spending your money, that's not really your priority. You just pretending.
So hold on. So I know the most about Howard County, because that's the county that I live in, right? And their budget for their schools,
Howard County is pretty well for themselves. I used to live there.
Yeah. So
mainly because of a very small group of people.
So the budget for their schools, the last time I looked, which was 2 years ago, last election cycle, over $1 billion for their schools. And the number of employees that they had, right, for teachers to teachers assistants to special educators to they had some sort of big buddy program for a certain group of people where they had adults that were kind of tutors, but it was a weird thing. Mm-hmm. It's a ton of money. Mm-hmm. That's a ridiculous amount of money.
The education usually takes up a large majority of a given municipality's budget.
So, and per student, per capita, it was a ridiculous amount of money. And then the teachers didn't get a raise. So even if you vote to say, I want to give teachers more money because they deserve it, just because we increase the budget doesn't mean it gets to where it wants to go, because of the amount of people that are fingers in the pot fucking with this.
People. Yeah, the people with the fingers in the pot. Yes. So, right, the people.
Just saying, like, you know, that you want them to make more money.
But it's not even just. It's not even like people in the pot. Like the salary of teachers makes up the majority of the money spent in education. That the majority of the education budget, like it's like 80% goes to the teachers. Then you got to pay for books and technology, and
So you're saying it's not enough?
They're saying it's not enough.
Are we saying?
I'm saying that. Look, so you have a county. You're in charge of the county. You have so much taxes that you're charging people that most people are already bitching about. Right. Then you take that taxes and you split up those that tax money, and of that pie, the overwhelmingly large majority goes to the education system, and then of that pie, the overwhelming majority goes to the salary of the teachers.
Okay. No, salaries.
Huh?
Salaries, not just of educators.
Yes,
not just the individual teachers.
So in administration, but that's where the overwhelming majority goes because they make up the majority of those people.
And my thing is the administrative side of that that aren't
but there's
boots on the ground,
but that's still
in the trenches with the kids. That's a bigger part than I want. That's just my.
That's fair, but that's still a very small, relatively speaking, compared to the amount that is being spent on teachers. Because it's the same way in like police and fire and everything else. It's the majority of it is going to the field, the troops on the ground, right? So but that's all the money there is, unless you want to raise taxes. But then you raise taxes on Joe Schmo, who's working his ass off, busting his ass, and he's fucking, already feels like he's paying too much taxes. It's like...
So, I think, doesn't that circle back around to the problem where people... me. Where I think when one person has billions of dollars is too much, because that money could be for the people.
Yeah, well then,
why and does one guy have
right? And then who says who's
the fucking computer does? I don't know. At least if you have a fucking equation and an algorithm, it is what it is.
And then that computer will make sure that the money goes to Dell and Gateway or whatever the fuck.
Whatever the fuck. I don't know. I'm talking about software. I'm just talking about equations. You fucking plug this number in, and this is what you get. You can't fucking circumvent math and science if you really fucking take it at face value. You can't make 2 + 2 = 3 like fucking Terrence Harris or whatever.
Terrence Howard.
Yes, that guy. Like
Towered Harris.
Yes,
close enough.
Sounds like inheritance to me.
But like,
so why can't you do what you did with the companies back in the 50s or whatever, and say every dollar over this?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
we all like that.
It comes back to like you have to do this to these people because they won't give it up, because they have, obviously most of us agree that they have too much and they want more.
Right.
So you have to control them forcibly, because otherwise this is what we get. But we won't do it because they're already in power.
Yeah, so we all agree on that.
Yeah, so like
I'm just saying that there are certain circumstances where I'm like, man, but that's kind of shitty here, where it's like, this one guy is capable of doing this one thing, and now everybody is like a leech.
Yeah, it's the problem with equations, because they don't consider nuance.
Yeah, but that's what Will Smith was arguing about in iRobot, right? He was like, well, a human would never make that choice, but like the choice was right. He hated robots because when he had a car accident, he was driving and there was a kid in the back of the car, and the robot saw and came to save him. And he was like, robot, save that kid. Don't save me. And the robot's like, there's only a 3% chance I can save that kid. That's like 100% I'm saving you right now. So I'm going to save you right now. And then he hates the robot for saving him. But like, that's the right choice. Mm-hmm. Maybe not to us emotionally, but that's a right choice.
Well, there's a big discussion in there for like being correct versus being right.
Right. But I'm cold, I guess. I think save the guy. That's what the equation says.
Well, so it's like
if that's the truth, that's the truth.
So
like some people, a small group, I don't know, somebody's suffering somewhere, right? You just try to fucking lessen the suffering.
The concept of triage.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Army, it was completely opposite of civilian triage. So in civilian triage, we go to the most injured that's savable and put all our resources there and work towards the less.
Yeah.
In the Army, it was the opposite.
Yeah.
The fastest person, the easiest person to get back up into the fight goes first. And we just write off the rest of the list until we get to them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not breathing, you've been dead.
Yeah.
If you're missing an arm and this guy's, got a finger missing, finger first, because the faster that fucking weapon gets back, the better off the group is, until we have the time and energy and the resources to work on the.
Yeah, but we don't like. Yeah, that's how the machine works, and that's why I like. It's just like I don't understand. I never understood. Like, is it Saving Private Ryan? Oh, most of these. It was in Resident Alien too, where they were praising a bunch of people dying to save one person. I'm like, that makes no fucking sense to me. It makes no sense to me.
But what if that person's Drake?
Exactly. but that is funny. But that's the crux of it, though, isn't it? If we save Drake, then fuck everybody else.
But that's not true, though. I mean, these guys aren't they're not able to not make a living. It's just like, how much are they entitled to? You know, because there does come a question of that. Like, I personally think at my job, I'm overpaid.
Me too. I'm way overpaid.
You know, but if I don't get it, then who does?
I'd share it with my coworkers.
I'm the lowest.
Okay. Really? That's good career. That's well funded.
Yeah, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Bobby is the model average employee.
Yeah. Like the C+ student wins again.
That's only on paper. He's number one in my heart.
There, I'll take it. I'll take that.
Yeah, and people complain about our taxes, but like I saw somebody I loosely follow on YouTube was talking about how they're leaving Italy because it no longer makes sense for them
taxes wise. I mean,
he's like, I'm happy to pay 66%.
Jesus Christ.
And he makes a lot of money. But he could have left a long time ago. He's like, I love my country. I believe in taxes and I believe in going to the right places. But it's not. It no longer makes sense to him because it no longer believes that it's going to the right places. So he's like, fuck this.
I remember and it's just a one data point. So I'm not an expert on the shit or anything like that. I'm just saying that I'm just bringing it up for the sake of conversation. I'm not trying to make an argument for anything. But when I was a kid, somebody that was like that my grandmother knew was sick in Italy, and they like went to visit, and they came back and they were like, it is the most insane hospital experience that they'd ever seen, you know, because like they got care and they were covered, you know, on the arm. But like bed sheets, food, water, okay. But we also have an IV, so we'll see. You know, everything else had to be provided by, and was expected to be provided by the family. Like, you know, they brought all that shit, you know, gowns, like clothes, all that shit. Like that brought that shit to the hospital. Like you got care. You know, it was free care. But that's what you got, you know, and in their experience, especially at that time, this is early 80s or whatever, mid 80s, but they were like, you know, like you come here, you get blankets and.
Oh, you pay for that.
Well, yeah.
We also pay for that, just, you know. So you pay for somebody who
right, and they felt like they're paying for it and weren't getting it. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Yeah, there's no, you know, it's just no perfect answer to this shit. It's just.
Yeah, and I think that people get lost in like the percentage of your income that goes to taxes. Like, so we hear a number that's bigger than what we pay and we think like, oh, that's terrible. But in reality, like if you were getting the services that you wanted out of it and you were happy with the quality of services that you got, what would be the problem with
it? I mean, or if.
But I think most of us rarely are.
Right. But in this country, but I'm saying,
right.
You know, like if you look at some of the other, like the Scandinavian countries always have this like crazy high like happiness factor, whatever the fuck that means.
Well, yeah, like Denmark, and it's like second happiest country in the world.
Sit over there. And
how do you judge
smoke
that?
your hash and be happy.
How happy are you from 1 to 10? They have smiley faces. You have to like pick the smiley face, like in the doctor's office,
like in paint chart.
Yeah. So it's like if like we had no healthcare costs that we had to carry on our own, or even through our employer, and the roads were immaculate. And everything was clean.
Exactly.
And the water was perfect, and it was plentiful and all that stuff. And somebody was like, it only costs you 60% of your income in taxes.
Yeah,
but
do it.
Everything was great. You'd be like, oh yeah, that's fucking great.
No, some people would say no, that's the thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's some people that are spending that much in other countries and
they're not getting
it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think that's the thing is like so like we spend a lot of money for like roads and shit here in Maryland, and like and average Marylander will complain about the roads all day until you go to West Virginia or Pennsylvania.
Oh, just down the barrel of Maryland.
Or you know what I mean? Like until you go somewhere where you're like, oh fuck, roads
Right, and literally right at the border, you're like, oh, here it is.
yeah, it stopped right here.
I don't need the sign.
It stopped right here. Like, you know, like so
It's gravel over there.
You know, and I think that's the thing is like what makes people actually content. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, what is it? Janice, you don't know what you got till it's gone.
Yeah.
So, anything else, Pharaoh?
Good job, Pharaoh, making us fucking argue for an hour.
So I don't feel like any of that was an argument on my side.
No, I'm not arguing with you guys. I'm just arguing with fucking being alive.
That's okay. No, I don't have anything else.
What
you're welcome, Joey.
What about you, Joey?
That's fine. I often argue about being alive. This is not new. Let's see. Oh,
Ew, I didn't like whatever that was. I didn't like how that started with that mouth noises.
well, while we're on controversy, since we're talking about politics, let's bring religion into it.
What could be better? I'll bring up the sex.
Yes. So, somebody got mad at me. Rightfully so.
At work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rightfully so, but I don't think in principle that they should have been, because I'm not wrong. Of course, I often think I'm not wrong. That's how people often do.
Let me be the judge of that.
So it boils down to someone wishing that I found Jesus.
Okay.
And I told them I wish they'd lost Jesus. In the same sentiment. And like they were like, why would you say that? I'm like, why would you say that to me when I already told you I don't believe, I don't want to believe. You're trying to enforce your belief on me, so therefore let me impart my beliefs onto you.
Can I ask why they said that? Why that came? Like, what was it?
We were talking about something about religion. I was talking about being agnostic. It's like I'm not atheist. I'm like, something's out there, but now it's just complaining.
It wasn't like you were on some Debbie Downer shit and talking about how life sucks and people suck and the world sucks and everything sucks. And they're like, man, I wish you found Jesus.
I don't talk about that.
That's fair.
I don't talk about. You know, most people you talk to, if you ask probably every coworker about me, they would probably think I'm the happiest guy.
You faker, you.
No, it's just my demeanor. Because like even when I'm laughing on the outside, I'm in pain. I am fucking.
Your smile is but skin deep.
Yeah.
If they could see inside,
That's why I said you're a fake.
you're really crying. You might join you for a weep.
I'm not faking my smile though. I'm having a good time talking with my friends.
I'm having a good time in my inside pain.
Yeah. Both can be true.
Oh, no.
Well, I think it could be momentarily. Like it could be.
Yeah, like you can be going for a jog and eating healthy.
McGonagall just lost his dog, right?
Yeah,
And
but he gained another one.
so that's my point, right?
I didn't mean to step on it.
No, yeah, but that's it though. Is like, so I know he's in pain. I know he's feeling loss. I know he's grieving. So I send a text message to him that's like, terribly sorry to hear about your dog. Like, I know that shit sucks. It's one of the worst things you can fucking possibly go through. Little bit of good news. You can have mine if you want it. And he wrote back, thanks, man. And it does suck, right? And I wrote back again. So that's a yes or a no. and then he laughed at that, right?
Yeah.
Still in pain, still grieving, still feeling the loss. Had a moment of laughter, of joy. You know.
Yeah.
So
and someone could be like fucking winning the Olympics right now, but little do they know it's cancer growing inside them. They don't know. But both things can be true. You can you can be doing something and be something else at the same time. Mm. I can laugh at the moment and smile and be genuine, but in pain on the inside. They're not mutually exclusive.
Right, but you saying that you're always happy at work while also in pain is
because we're always
so that's possible. I do that all the time, but
we're always laughing.
But I think if you're like genuine, so like if it's like he's on the pod, right, and he's in pain. Pain is here, right. This is zero. Right, pain is here.
For not being a math guy, you like drawing these graphs.
Numbers don't mean shit to Bobby.
Yeah. So pain is here, right? On the pod, has a moment of joy. Pain drops down, right? Laughter subsides. Pain is here again. It's like a little like
right. But in your example,
in my example, and
the
that's
line is a time graph, and he's not experiencing both at the same time.
yes,
But
that
we
is
can,
true.
But
That
we
is
can,
true.
but humans
I'm just
experience both at the
pointing
same
out-
time.
Yes. Now,
Because like we all experience multiple things at the same time.
yeah, but I think that like
That's why I cry when I come.
That's the title. But yeah, because like faking would be me purposely smiling or laughing when I don't mean it. But like, I enjoy. You know, I can enjoy all this and I can smile without like making myself smile. Like I want to smile. I want to laugh. I want to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's not like I seek
I'm not-
the darkness.
so.
I'm not
I don't
denying-
know if I agree with that.
I'm not saying
I don't know if I
deny-
agree with that at all.
I could be so
Your
like
ability to
about
experience-
perception, right? Everyone perceives me in a different way. I mean, we're all partly right.
I don't think you want to necessarily wallow. And I think that you can have a good time and you can have joy and you can. I do not think that you actively seek it out.
Huh.
I think you get it here around the 45-minute mark. And I think that at times, like I've seen it at like conventions, I've seen it at Skullfest. I think you get it in Japan. But I think, you know, that's when you're kind of seeking it out, you know, like I think that when, that there's a lot of life that, you like to be like intellectually engaged and stimulated and entertained and all those sorts of things. But I don't think that those are necessarily seeking out joy.
Oh yeah, I guess interesting things and joyful things aren't necessarily the same.
Correct. Like I can watch a interesting thing that's fucking horrible. You know what I mean?
Schindler's List your favorite?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I would never say. John Williams does a good score.
Two more people.
yeah. It's fucking good, dude. It's fucking good, man.
But so we're talking about like I was just surface level. I wasn't gonna dwell into like my hatred for like organized religion, but like you know just some surface level stuff we all can agree on. But then they were like, you know, the classic God's for everybody, God loves everybody. I hope you found Jesus type thing, and then I just didn't want. And then they got mad, and then I'd explain to them, but they were still mad. So I was like, that's on you. Like I'm doing the same thing you are. I'm giving you the literal same energy. Yeah. If you can't handle receiving it, maybe you shouldn't try to give it.
There's one thing that I've learned about Christians.
So I don't think I'm wrong.
They shouldn't work in sales.
I thought they were really good at it. Like how many people are Christians nowadays? Or I mean, less than they used to be. But
so when you go to a country and you say convert or die,
yeah,
that's different. But general
that's
sales, no, that's not selling something. That's imposing something.
But they're buying.
But in general salesmanship, I think they do a pretty poor job of selling it, you know, like to most people, like
it's a hard sale unless you were indoctrinated.
So
right?
I think
what is there to sell?
So I think it
Shame. A lot of shame.
I think it doesn't have to be a hard sell.
But you have to entice people to want stuff, right? Isn't that how sales work? You present something that you want, that somebody wants. Like what do they have to present to you?
And I think that they do it in a very poor way, because I think that they do it as if your life does not have meaning without this thing.
Yeah.
And I think the better way that they could do it is to show how much meaning their life has and make you wonder, like, I wonder what I'm missing. That's the way to sell it.
But maybe they don't have much to show.
Maybe that's
maybe what they're selling isn't as good.
Those are separate arguments. Yeah. But that's how you sell it. You sell it and showing like when you're sitting, not you, the general, you're sitting at home miserable and empty and incomplete, and you're like, but why the fuck is Sam so goddamn happy? You know. And you're like,
because he gives 20% of his income to the church.
Maybe it's the God shit. You know, like
that. Yes, they need to learn how like small cults do it. Small cults are successful on a local level because they sell that happiness juice.
Yeah, and I think usually provide refuge from misfits.
Well, there's other juice too. There's like Kool-Aids and.
Yeah, they usually and they always like sell the afterlife, but like for a lot of people, it's like I need that money. I need it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Yeah, but I think the fear is the worst way to sell it.
and that's like,
The fear tactic is very.
but it's worked for them with imposing.
Yeah.
It's like do it or die. Like that's,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
fear.
It's just a different fear
The
now.
fear
It's
is just a
eternal
product
death.
of the old ways.
I'll do this. What did Darkseid say? We'll do this the old way. You know.
Why people are generally okay with public defenders? The concept of it.
Say what?
Everyone
The
gets
concept.
Everyone
Say it
gets a
one more
lawyer.
Yeah, just so that you can't not have one.
You can't not have one.
Right, yeah.
So
I like to call them public pretenders. You know what I mean?
oh my god, they're doing a service
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I love when like they show pictures of lawyers dressed like shit and they're like public defender. Yeah, clearly.
yeah, but they need it, right?
Yeah.
So just because
So that's another group that I wish was paid more.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like they're
Some of them.
but
Some of them, I'm like, man, they motherfucker could be paid less.
I mean,
Well, no, I think-
the other option is you don't get one.
No, that's why I'm in support of having them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that you get paid more because I've seen some of the motherfuckers at work, and I've been like, nope.
Maybe it's because they don't get. Maybe it's because they don't get paid when they don't.
Maybe, but you do that trial and error bullshit on somebody else. I'm fighting for my goddamn life out here.
Because also they have like a ridiculous caseload, I believe, because there's only so many of them. But in general, like, they get paid by taxes.
Yeah, the government employees.
Yeah, no one. I haven't heard of anyone complaining about public defenders.
It's bad.
What?
Of the concept of getting
The
them.
concept once again. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
concept-
no one's like we shouldn't pay people to get free representation.
Yes, but my whole. Ooh.
Have you
bet
heard
there-
that?
I bet there are.
I bet there are.
Because we don't hear about that much.
I don't think it comes up that much because most people kind of view them as a joke anyway. So I don't think most people.
I think most people don't need them. Also, to be fair,
Well-
most people aren't in trouble.
Yes. No. Most people aren't in trouble, but like when you're fighting for your life,
Yeah.
like I can tell you for firsthand. I went through it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like I've been down this road,
Yeah.
and like when you and I was young, dude. Like I was 24. I was turning 24. I was 23 years old, and when you see that your life might be going away,
Yeah.
like your life as you know it might be going away, the amount of debt you will dig yourself into to be like, no, save my ass. You know, like you like
It's
and I
also
could,
money. If you don't have it, you don't have it, though, right?
yeah, but I mean, you can. I'm not. Can't is a 4-letter word in my house. Like I didn't have it, and I got it. I did what I had to do to get it. I was not walking into that courtroom in front of a jury with a fucking guy in Levi's. Like, you know what I mean? It just wasn't going to happen.
I don't think everyone can, though. That's a thing.
And I'm telling you, most people find a way. You know, even if it's credit card debt or whatever the fuck, like most people will find a way unless it's just astronomical, you know. And then the people that are getting public,
a lot of times people who are in that position in the first place aren't doing great in life already. When you're in a position that you have to consider a public defender, you probably don't have money options.
and a lot of people that you think aren't doing great in life had that rainy day money for that reason.
Yeah, not from the
The guy that I went to court, the guy that was carrying a fucking pistol on him,
yeah.
that was a known terrorist out there, not doing great in life from the outside. Definitely had a lawyer like that. You know, like motherfuckers aren't as dumb as people think they are. Like when you are playing in a criminal world, it's like it's
I don't
to me
have a
it's like
lawyer.
special forces, right? Special forces in the military, I imagine. I never served, you know, but thank you for your service, Farrell, but I never served. That shit it's in my mind. And if it's not, just let me go to make my point. That shit gets the people that don't want to be there out of there. Because if you don't want to step up to the plate for the amount of like training, responsibility, education, et cetera, that's required for that sort of work, it's going to weed you out, right? It's the same thing in the criminal world. If you are not planning from the moment that you decide to enter into that business, it gets you out. It will get you out of the way pretty quickly. So a lot of people that you see with public defenders, in my mind, that are there for criminal shit, not like for like some sort of like bullshit, you know what I mean? But like you know, drugs, guns, you know, that sort of stuff. If you're not racketeering, like if you haven't planned for that, I'm surprised you made it this far. You know, but
or this is the system getting you out.
Yeah, or this is you getting weeded out. You know, but like you know, like it's the most. I've in my life I've been robbed. I've run from police. I have been in other dangerous.
I didn't think you liked running.
I don't.
You gotta.
Yeah.
Slow ass cops.
I have. I've been in other dangerous situations that I can't talk about here, but they're available on Patreon at the $10.
There it is.
You know. But I can tell you, I have never felt the amount of anxiety that I felt when I was on, you know, facing trial for a year from October. I think it was September 2023, right? No, 2024 through November 2025, or the year prior.
Not 2020.
I'm sorry. I think it was
2005.
I think it was 2004. No, I think it was 2003 to 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say last year.
Yeah,
Goddamn, we were hanging out.
Yeah. No. It was October. It was September or October of 2003 to the day before Thanksgiving on 2004.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah,
most stress and anxiety I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's just beside the point.
No, it was just like I just never heard people complain about.
Oh yeah, all I've heard is people, but not in the same sense.
No, yeah, I've never heard
just that they're generally incompetent.
I've never heard that there shouldn't be free representation.
Yeah.
I'm very foreign today.
It's one of my favorite parts of our justice.
Yeah, we have to provide it because
have to have. Yeah.
Most people are good with that. That everyone needs representation legally.
I would think most people are good with it.
Yeah.
And my question came from like why don't we have the same energy for healthcare?
Because culturally, one is about government trying to lock you away.
The other one is you are in dire straight.
Yeah, and that is not culturally ingrained in a.
The health issues aren't as much of a problem.
No,
I'm not saying you. I'm just like I'm trying to get.
It is not culturally ingrained. It's the same reason why we hate taxes. We hate taxes, and we hate the government overstepping power boundaries because this country was set up by people that felt that taxes were too much and the government had too much power, and that shit is just culturally ingrained in us. We can't get out of it. You're born into it. You're indoctrinated to it. You hate taxes, and you hate the government stepping on your toes.
Even though, like, when it feels like when it comes down to it, when it comes down to it mattering, people do want to seek help from the government, right? Like they at the end of the day, like they you hate government, but then at the same time they're like, well, government should do this or that. Like it.
Well, I think sometimes they're saying that because we're paying for it, but I think that, and I think that people are hypocritical. Don't get me wrong. But I think that
I think that's the problem I have.
You know, for sure, people are fucking certainly hypocritical. But I think that, like, you know, like the healthcare shit, and trust me, I think if you talk to most people, Republican, Democrat, Jew, Gentile, whatever the case, you talk to, you know, people from all walks of life, most people are unsatisfied with the healthcare provided in America, but they don't see a better option that's clearly better. You know, I think it's how we feel about capitalism. You know, where it's like, it sucks. It's also the best available.
Yeah. But at least with capitalism, you know that there's better. We just can't do it.
I think that's
better.
I mean, it's the same thing with healthcare.
We know. In saying we know we can do better is like we know the resources are there for everybody. We just can't make it so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the same thing with healthcare. You know, it's like
we know we can cure so many things, but you just can't get it.
Well, and we also know that theoretically there's a better option out there. But, like, you know, do I want the doctor that's, you know, the surgeon, the brain surgeon? I'm making a just ridiculous example, but do I want the ridiculous brain surgeon that's making, you know, $30 million a year because he's fucking, you know, he's fucking Edward Scissorhands with that shit? You know what I mean? Like, you know, making your brain into like a little tree giraffe. Or do I want the guy that graduated with a C minus from fucking, Bobby's fucking medical school down the street? You know what I mean? And it's like that's making $35,000 a year, and it's like we get wrapped up in the same shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people and trust me, dude. I think this healthcare system. I'm on record on this motherfucker talking about how my lack of faith in the medical system here from top to bottom. But when you hear about people that are like,
but not medical science. You do believe in medical science
for sure,
yeah.
For sure. And there's a lot of people. I just actually listened to this whole thing on it, but like of the amount of people that come from different countries that come here specifically for certain operations, procedures, medications, and such that aren't provided anywhere else because the only motherfuckers that can do it can only get the money here. So it's like, and once again, we're locked back in this fucking thing of like tug of war of like what, you know what I mean? It's like both sides suck,
On to actually what I watch.
Hold on one second. This is off the record for Nerd Rage, the bottom line there.
Well, I watched Predator Badlands. Quite enjoyed it.
Did you?
Yes. Like, I'm happy that both the Predator and Alien franchises has just the same with Resident Evil has been on the up and up. These like classic franchises that were much applauded for that had real bad downturns are now like getting better.
Yeah.
Because like I hate to see.
Is it a show Badlands?
No, it's
a movie.
It's a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's all you have. It's a Predator and a synthetic like Bishop was. He's like she's a robot.
Okay.
But,
yeah.
I mean, that's where you get. That's not even where you get the human connection from. But that's at least where you just get some English from. Because the Predator is subtitled the entire time, which is great. Yeah. Because we're talking about like we want to see things from the other perspective, which is like the robots, seeing just from the robots' perspective in Transformers. But,
it'd also be weird if they were speaking English. The Predators.
But they tried.
Do they really? Oh yeah. But I'm good with that. I just don't want to be like, man, no creamer in this bitch.
Well, Bobby.
But no, I quite enjoyed it. I want more. I want more Aliens and more Predator. That's done on this level. That's no longer like B movie like fucking throwaways or cash grabs. I guess they probably were to keep the franchise going. I watched Nope for the first time. Quite enjoyed that. That's a Jordan Peele horror movie. One of them from a few years ago.
You said Alien?
Yes, I didn't think. Kind of.
I saw a trailer.
Yes.
In the Midwest somewhere or desert area.
California.
Okay, yeah.
Which is, yes.
Yeah.
No,
okay,
that's West. Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Quite enjoyed it. I don't know about him much except for his comedy things. Jordan Peele, which is
didn't he do Get Out and
yes, exactly. I knew that. Yeah, I'm saying he was known for that and
vampires that kill racist people or something.
Right.
Once Bitten. Fuck, what was it? It just won a bunch of awards. You thought it was Sinners.
I don't think he did Sinners.
Are you sure?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But no, he did Get Out, which was great. Right. And then this, and then I think he did. Did he do Smile? I'm not sure. He did. I want to watch.
Smile was interesting.
I don't think it was it. But he did another movie that I haven't watched that want us. Maybe it was Us that I haven't watched. But I quite enjoyed.
Nice.
Nope. And like he obviously is an anime.
Funny.
What?
I quite enjoyed Nope.
And that's how they say it in the movie. It's like what you should be doing in real life if you see some fucking shady shit.
All right.
We did Candyman?
Mm-hmm. The reboot?
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
Candyman's iconic, man. Like R.I.P. to that dude, but
and like his last scene alive.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, according to Google, Sinners was Ryan Coogler.
Ryan Coogler, guy from Black Panther fame.
You're just mixing up all the black movies.
Yeah, that's what it is. What did I say?
But yeah, a lot. He's obviously an anime fan, which makes me enjoy.
I remember
a lot of the visuals there.
Brutus. I'm gonna tell this quick story. And Brutus was a black guy, so it's
so it's fine.
It's well, I'm not saying it's
some of your best friends are black.
So I'm not saying it's fine. I'm nerve rage stuff like that better be important. Mm-hmm. It's important. He was like, he said, there's a difference between a black actor and a blackter.
One's a real term and one's a fake.
and I was like, do tell. And he was like, a black actor is a black guy that can only play black roles. A black actor can play anything. And who's my guy that War Machine? Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle, black actor. Samuel L. Jackson, black actor.
Are you sure?
So that's the example that he used for black actor. I can't remember who he used for.
Well, back then, there's a lot less discography.
Yeah, but it was still pretty plentiful. I can tell you that there's no role that I can think of with Samuel L. Jackson where I'd be like, white guy'd be fine here.
Negotiator?
No role I can think of. I can name roles if you want. Like even Mace Windu, I'm like, there's no way I want a white guy to play that. There's no way I want a white guy to walk up and put the lightsaber up to Dooku's throat and be like, this party's over.
What about snakes on a plane?
I never saw it. But no, get these snakes off this motherfucking plane. No, I don't want a white guy doing that. No.
And definitely not the scientist in Jurassic Park.
No.
Definitely with a cigarette hanging out of your mouth. It's gotta be.
Hang on to your butts.
But to be fair, is this because you don't want a non-black person in those roles, or do you want a non-Samuel L. Jackson person in those roles? Because I think he brings something to it that's uniquely him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take a deep dive on this necessarily. It's meant to be a joke, but I think that Samuel.
You're offending Samuel Jackson fans.
No, I love Samuel Jackson, but I think that Samuel L. Jackson performance. There's something uniquely like Black American about it that you can't separate her from. Like it's like water, it's like hair and bubble gum. Like it comes. There's no getting it out. Like it's like that person can only exist from this country specifically.
What do you think about Denzel then? What is he?
I think he's overrated.
Is he a black actor or a black actor?
I don't know if he's. I don't think he's either. I don't think he's either. I think that.
Wow, that low.
Yeah, so it doesn't make him bad, but to me, Denzel Washington is the same as Jeff Goldblum, is the same as Christopher Walken, and once again, all good performances. Same guy in every movie.
I want more Denzel.
Christopher Walken.
I want more Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken was a different guy in Dune.
No, he wasn't. He looked different. They didn't let him talk much, but had they, it'd have been like, but you gotta do it for the spice. For the spice.
I heard this week. I just want to share, and because I fucking laughed out loud at work, and I couldn't. This girl said, You're like the first. I mean, it might be a saying that I just never heard of. You're like the first slice of bread in the bag. Everybody touches you, but no one really wants you. She was saying this about another girl.
Yeah,
I'm like, yikes!
There's
no coming back from that.
I know that girl.
But
I got some
you
news.
touched her. You didn't want her.
I got some news for you.
Oh.
I ain't crazy about that second slice either.
It's got first slice tendencies.
It's got first slice tendencies.
Oh my god! It's got a little too much angle on that.
It's got heel tendencies. You got to go for that third slice.
Bobby's middle of the loaf.
Oh yeah. My sandwich is coming from the middle. Like,
do you think as a person you're middle of the loaf? Which slice are you as a human being? Oh no! As a male, do you think you're somewhere in the middle of the loaf? You're not the heel. You're definitely not the first slice.
No,
I'm the heel.
I'm not the last slice.
Which is like the first slice, except more you later on.
It's just the first slice is except more stale.
That's even worse. That's even worse because, not only does nobody want you, nobody touches you either.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. In terms of being wanted?
Yeah.
Oh. So I don't think I fit into it. I'm like, let me try to. I'm a sandwich. I'm the sandwich.
You're the whole.
I'm
whole
the
package,
sandwich.
right? The whole package.
No, not at all. But
He's already out of the bag.
I'm the sandwich, and that sandwich is everything. All the components of that sandwich fit inside of the slice of bread, and people can only see me from the top. So at first they think they understand the slice of bread But I only get intriguing to people once they get a side view and see all the stuff that's in the middle. And that's how I get you.
That is fantastic, Bobby. and that is all I got.
I'm the moldy heel.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I've been let's see what I got here. What do we think about? Oh, let me do this. The other night, we were sitting there and we were so my kids were talking about Selena was somewhere and they were playing. It was at school, I think, and they were playing some music. The teacher was playing some music like before class was getting going or whatever, and
Edgy.
And no, like some like something that was like I couldn't tell you what it was, but I think it might have been a Pink Floyd record or a Bowie record or some, like something safe but was edgy for its time, and Selena was like singing along like quietly to herself, like, and the teacher's like, "You know this song?" And she was like, "Yeah, I've heard it at home or whatever." And like, so this whole conversation started of like some people I think are raised in like sports houses or academic houses, like whatever, like pop culture houses, whatever. But like my
alcohol houses,
That to be fair,
trap houses.
To be fair, I've learned that house is adapted to other houses. But trap houses. But like so like it just got to talking, and then like they were talking about how like that Selena was like she does appreciate that like. Oftentimes she'll be in scenarios and like music will come up and she kind of knows the music and people are always kind of impressed that she knows the music. And so they started this like whole thing of like, how do you feel about being raised in a music house as opposed to another house where like, if we're not if we're together, if the five of us are together, music's on, generally speaking. If we're in the car, five of us, music's on. If we're at home and the five of us are there, music's on. Like, so, and like they were talking about like other things that they wish they were like, so like Leia was actually ironically, cause she's kind of like a pretty big music fan and like, is into the arts and all that kind of shit. She was like, she was like, I'm not sure if I would pick it if I could, and I was like, what would you pick? She's like, I would like a game family where like we played like foosball and like do all this stuff, arcades and video games and this and I was like, yeah, I mean that's fair,
From a kid's perspective, yeah.
But Selena was saying how she liked kind of like that people underestimated her knowledge of things and that she was able to kind of connect or have like a starting conversation with a lot of people that she wouldn't necessarily think she would because she knows so much about it without really giving a shit about it. She's just being around it, the same way that she can name most of the Justice League without giving a shit about it. Or the Dinobots, or Fans Toys.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Jana said something interesting too. She was like, it has helped me.
She wanted to be raised in a math family.
Yeah. A science family. That it has helped her like she often feels disconnected from people. And she's like, music has helped me feel more connected to people. Like, because she listens to like she's kind of into music where she really listens. She listens with like trying to understand like where the perspective is coming from, and she was like, because of that, I feel like I can get an idea of people pretty quick because I'm just used to listening to people and figuring out like where they're coming from. But it was cool. It was cool to hear. Because sometimes I'm like, man, am I fucking these motherfuckers up with with this shit?
Not all.
But then, so then we're like, well, what other family? Like, and then like Leia, of course, I could tell like where her second place was. She was like, well, some families watch TV. So I was like, well, let's watch some TV, and I put on Rammstein videos, and Jana's hype. She loves Rammstein, and Leia was like, why this? And I was like, to be honest with you, I think Rammstein has the best music videos in music history. Like, I think they have the top shelf music videos. I think Michael Jackson is number 2. Like, I think that they are the number one producer of music videos. So we like went through the whole catalog and sitting like, they were like, man, this shit is cool. And you know, they don't really watch music videos because they're not raised in an MTV generation. So like, even like seeing the visuals to stuff and like it makes them reimagine the songs and shit was kind of interesting. You know, and sometimes like even like songs that they've heard growing up, you know, like
They've never seen the video.
Yeah, they've never seen the video and they're like, I've never imagined this song this way. You know, and to see it in this light is bizarre, you know, so.
MTV hasn't been making music videos for a long time also, even when they were.
Yeah. What are your thoughts and tolerance level for incompetent supervisors?
I haven't had to deal with one in a minute.
That's,
tolerance level is well, the last job I actually quit, which is one of very few, is one of the things is the incompetent supervisor. Like at some point, like if your incompetence ends up being my stress in life, I'm not dealing with it. Like I'm either going to say something that will make you think about yourself or fire me or I quit.
Yeah.
That's what happened with me at the biotech spot.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
With the music. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the incompetence. I just got to the point where I couldn't hold back anymore.
Yeah.
So I just kept telling them how incompetent they were. And eventually that led to me not working there anymore.
Because it started, because it's fine, right? I always, when I'm unhappy with work itself, I'm always like, I'm getting paid for this. I can justify it. I'm like, well, no one gets paid for doing what they want, usually. So, like, this is dealing with this motherfucker is part of why I'm getting money, especially when I'm getting a good amount of money. But when it started affecting my after hours, when I start to, like, when I'm off and I'm like, fuck, I got to go work with that guy tomorrow. That's not okay. This is not my off time you're affecting.
Well, the other thing that I can't stand is when, like, a supervisor tells you, sets the schedule, right? Like the production schedule or whatever the schedule for the day, and it's a bad schedule, and then you have to work harder. Like, so now you have mandatory overtime or whatever to meet the goals that the schedule was supposed to help you get to, and they continue to not turn that on themselves.
Yeah.
So like, is it possible that I might not have done a good job with the schedule, or is it that my employees are just not producing at the level they're supposed to? And it's like, you can hint at it enough and be like, hey, remember when we did this way the last time and it didn't work out great? Like, how about, can we try it this way? And a good supervisor should listen to you and say, like, I haven't thought about that, but yeah, let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
I'm happy to take, ideas from the group.
Yeah.
And then you say, oh, that did work better. Hey, that was great.
The rising tide lifts all ships.
Exactly. But when they're like, absolutely not, I'm in this position for a reason. And you're like, well, that's good.
They put me in charge.
Yeah, it's like, well,
I'm the chosen one.
Yeah. When they're faultless to a fault.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
That's the title, I think.
And then, but they just, it just ends up fucking your time up, whether it be forced overtime or whatever. That's when it's like, it's time to move on from that.
Yep.
I ask because it's become a little bit frustrating for me. I luckily I have a supervisor that I adore. Everybody, to be fair, this is a side conversation, but we had the time, so I'm going to circle back to that. But I have a supervisor that I truly love, but every now and then I see other supervisors and I think about, like, oh my God, like, what it would, you know what I mean? Like, not for me, but I think where my issue comes in with them is like, look, I'm okay with trying to bring people up to speed. I'm okay with, like, letting the rising tide lift all ships. I'm okay with all of it. And, I'm not a supervisor. And if I want to be that, then I can make decisions in my life to try to be that, but I'm not doing that. So I can only throw stones from so far. Right.
The best average employee.
Best average employee you've ever had.
Model average.
Model average employee. But what I don't like is when a supervisor has the potential to put you in danger.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's a big issue for me. And then my second one is when the supervisor, the poor supervisor, is really big on accountability and there's no one to hold that supervisor accountable.
Who supervises the supervisor?
Who supervises the supervisor? Exactly. Anyway, it's just it's like it's another one of those systems. Like today's episode seems to be a lot about systems, and it's another one of those systems for me where I'm like, man, there are so many checks and balances here, and so many of them are in the wrong fucking place. You know, and I find that to be entirely frustrating.
And that's a tough system to make, though, right? Because in the Army we had, you would do reviews of your command staff, right? So
I like that, by the way.
So I liked it
in principle.
Yeah. But the problem is that they were always negative. Right.
I mean, yeah, that's human nature to complain about your boss.
Right. You're just complaining about, well, they made us do this and they made us do that. And it took me growing up and maturing to realize that the amount of the picture that I saw as an individual was tiny.
Yeah.
So me not realizing the bigger part of the mission that we were engaged in and why certain things had to be done a certain way.
That might also be in part to the Army being a young man's game, though, right? Where it's you have younger people in there that aren't yet fully capable of seeing the bigger picture.
Right.
You know, that makes a lot of sense.
To relate, like I defend my handler a lot from
that makes sense.
From not lower, like people in on the floor. So, like in the shop, in pharmacy, right? Because that my handler handles not just me, but like a lot of other things they're responsible for. And I'm a floater, so I go to a lot of different places, as well as work with administration because of my position. And yeah, so when I hear complaints on the floor about my handler, I'm like, those are fair complaints. Except that you are not understanding this other part of why this is the way it is. And I see it now, but there's no way you're going to have the experience because you're not, you're not going to see it from your level. And it's going to be hard to explain to you that, like, yeah.
It's also not their prerogative to know either.
That's true. But like, so like, it's hard because their complaints are valid from their end of ignorance. But I know why it is. So if they go, why is my schedule such and such? And then I'm thinking to myself, you're not realizing that this week, in particular, my handler is scheduling 200 plus people by herself. So that is why your schedule is the way it is currently. But like, that's neither here or there.
Right.
So I think sometimes there's people, and not to say like supervisors aren't fault. There are definitely people who are just shitty at the job. So it's hard to parse out what it is.
And that's what I mean about like the bottom up evaluation stuff. When they're always negative, it's hard to pick out what is just gripes from people lower and what is legitimate. Hey, this is something that we need to fix fix our supervisor. Yeah. Right. Because it's like, oh, he made me clean up the kitchen.
Like, well, it's your time. You got to do that.
Sorry. That's one of the fucking tasks that need to happen.
Right.
But if it's this supervisor only picks female employees.
Yes, that's a problem.
Yeah, then that's a problem.
To clean the kitchen and then goes off and hangs out with the guys and watches football, that's an issue. But all that just becomes noise, and it takes a really qualified middle management person who's supervising the supervisor to decipher that noise and then pick out the things and then investigate it further to see, is this a problem or are they just normal gripes?
Look at fucking Pharaoh hypothetically against sexism.
Well, and I think that like
I got to sprinkle them in every once in a while so people don't.
They know that you're joking. I think that like for me, like I find myself in this position now where like I'm like an informal leader, and I think that's the right place for me. Where I can, like, I'm not responsible at all for you, but I can try to set a bar for you that only will lead to your success, and I can, sometimes in some ways when I'm averaging out the other side of that C+, be an example of how to treat certain aspects of it, right? And so, like, I'll give an example, like, and this leads to the question, like, or the next segment, but yesterday, like we mop a number of floors, and most of them are pretty easy and don't even require a supervisor because of our level of competence, in my opinion. And we often get that compliment if we have a different supervisor for a day or whatever. They'll be like, "I really enjoy coming here because I don't have to do anything.
I don't have to micromanage.
It runs itself, But yesterday we had an opportunity to mop a significant floor. And it was a like a practice type of thing, but it was a significant practice. And I got to, and I was in a more of a 19-year position, and I have a lot of guys that are under 10 years. In fact, all of them yesterday. And they performed like fucking rock stars. And like I'm getting emotional thinking about it, but I was so fucking proud of them that like I bought them all dinner.
Wow.
Paid for dinner for everybody, because I was like, if you guys, and I try to, and not to say that I'm responsible for it, I'm not, but if I had anything to do with it, I'm grateful. But if you guys can do these things to, implement the things that we talk about, that we practice, that we go over, that we institute and perform at this level, yeah, I'll pay for your dinner every day of the week, and if you can do this when we're not practicing on a real floor, I'll buy ice cream too. Hold on 1 second. Got G Money calling. G Money.
Hey.
You're live on Nerd Rage Radio, so be careful about what you say.
Live on Nerd Rage.
Yeah.
Just calling to tell you it all went good.
All went good?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll text you.
All right, cool. Congratulations.
All right.
You know how
See ya.
you know how criminal that sounds? G-Money is calling me to let you know cryptically that it's all good. that is
Yeah.
that sounds like evidence right there.
Yeah, so to be fair, he was one of the guys that performed like a rock star yesterday. And I was just, I was like overjoyed, by all of it. And it was a payout for me for like, like Farrell says, where you can't do anything for the good of it. There has to be some take back. Like I got my take back in droves.
That's awesome.
Yesterday of like just being like, man, like you guys, because we don't get to see it a whole lot, you don't get the opportunity to see it. So to get the opportunity and see it, I was like, fuck, man, like if I moved on to a different job or something tomorrow, I was confident in the hands of the future that I was leaving it in.
The children.
Yeah, they are the future.
And so on that similar thing, did I tell you about sleeves?
Oh yes, that he had a once in a lifetime kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so that made me super proud. So like one of the guys I work with moved on to a different spot and performed exceptionally well, and he's being. It sounds like he's going to be recognized from like the big boss at his new spot for doing something. So I was super proud of him for that.
The other thing that leads me to that is, like when I was mentioning that my supervisor, like I love my supervisor. I'm also in a place with like my workforce, like the people that I work with directly, that like we've been together for a while now, and
Don't say too loud.
Well, yeah, that's true. And I have a hard time with juggling the difference between friends and family. And I'm at a point now that's dangerous for me, where I love all those motherfuckers more than they will ever love me, and I know it. And that usually sets itself up for major disappointment on my end at some point. So all the praising I just did, I'm saying that I'm also very cognizant of this relationship that I find myself in with them.
But at least you're cognizant of it now. You're mentally prepared in case things don't work out.
Yeah. So anyway, I got two more things.
Oh God.
Selena has injured her leg.
Oh no.
Yep.
Playing softball?
Yep. So last year she fractured a growth plate on her ankle.
Oh fuck.
And she was in a boot and all this shit and healed up or whatever. and she has done something to it this time. It's not a fracture because I went and took her to get X-rays. But she's back in this boot to like immobilize it, and but I'm so worried because like I took her to orthopedic or whatever, and they were like, could be out for 6 weeks, and like that's the season.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I feel for her too, especially because Selena's kind of in a weird place right now.
She's beefing with this other girl, right?
Well, yeah, and they've kind of squashed it.
Oh, okay.
But it's just like a pimple, right? Like the pimple is popped, but it's still got to reside.
Yeah.
It's got to go back down and go back to the right skin color and everything else. So that, but she's also, and this is probably not the right place to have this conversation, but she's become, I think, a kid that gets along with everybody at school, but she has like one core friend at school, but all of the kids that she's cool with kind of have like a crew, and she's not in the crew. She's cool with everybody, but she's not in the crew. So like these softball kids have kind of become her crew.
Yeah.
And I worry about, the fact that she can't contribute. Is having an impact on her psyche. And the season's about to end, and we'll probably be checking out a few other teams and that sort of stuff. And
there's a lot of a lot of girls that are current team that are going to age out of this.
Yes, there's a handful.
So
yes,
it's a kind of a natural.
There's a natural. Yes, 100%.
You need to. You're trying to find a team with better financial management.
It's probably on the list of things I'm looking at. Also. And we're prepping to go to Boston tomorrow.
Yeah.
Actually, would you mind getting my packages again?
Yeah.
And that shit should work if you jiggle the key, so to speak. If you come back over, I'll fuck with it. But because I hate that you had to take it all the way down there, and then you feel like you got to bring it all the way back up.
I don't give a fuck.
But
bother me.
So today is fucked for me. So I worked night shift last night. There's no telling when a floor needs cleaning, Joe.
Yeah.
And didn't get to hang out as much as I want to, but it was kind of weird there anyway, so I was okay with leaving at the time that I left. Yeah. And came home, cut the grass, which I hate doing.
You can pay somebody.
I know.
I do.
But like, it's funny, man. Like,
you could probably call Joey and see if
his guy would just knock both out. I probably should, but it's just like buying an app. I don't know what it is. Like I'll be like, man, like I'm buying this $50 action, $100, $300 action figure. Won't skip a beat. Like $1 for an app. What am I, made of money?
We all like that. I'm like that too. It's weird. I just paid $84 for a tank of gas.
Yeah.
And then I was like considering this $100 thing I was buying. Like, bro, get this gas is gonna be gone in 3 days, and I just fucking didn't blink an eye. Let me just buy this $100 thing.
Yeah. So anyway, and then I got to do a sit down Saturday because like I already did one for this week. So I was set, but then I realized there's this other thing that I could do that's kind of topical, and I could strike while the iron's hot. And like, it's not like a strategic move to like get people's attention, but like sit down Saturdays are difficult because it's hard to keep coming up with those fucking topics. Yeah. And like this one's like a give me.
Yeah.
I gotta take advantage. I gotta take advantage of it. And then I'll be a little bit ahead for next week, which will be nice. But I gotta do that, and then I gotta get at least one review done because I come back Monday, and then Tuesday I gotta have something, and I don't have something for Tuesday.
So you come out Monday, okay?
Yeah. It'll be Monday evening, though. Monday night. So I'm leaving Thursday, and we're leaving at 7 a.m.
You're going to get there about 7 p.m.
So we're going to get to New Haven, Connecticut around 12 p.m. We're going to go to 3 different pizza places and get a large pizza from each and try it and everything else. And then we're going to go to Boston, get there in the evening.
Yep.
And then we're going to tour some college stuff and walk around and see some of the touristy stuff, which I'm excited about. I like history and I like cities, so it's like right up my alley. And then we're going to leave Monday, 7 a.m., hit New Haven around 12, and have 3 different pizzas from 3 different spots, and then come back. So like I'm looking forward to the history in the city. I do really, it's like my 2 favorite things aside from shopping, but like I'm mostly looking forward to the pizza. Like, I can't wait. Like, and for two reasons. For one, everybody says it's so fucking good, and if there's nothing I enjoy more than a good fucking pizza. But two, like, I want to have an opinion on the shit to be like, well, let me tell you how good I think it is.
Right.
You know. So anyway, I'm looking forward to it.
A pizza.
And the last thing I did want to talk about, and then I'm kind of done, is when you left after Nerd Rage. For one, I enjoyed our conversations per usual. One of my favorite things about After Hours episodes is that Farrell sleeps here because he drinks. So like he's not going to drive drunk, right? So he sleeps here. But when people leave here, we end up talking for an hour, which you could stay for if you wanted to, but it's a lot of like shop talk stuff. We end up talking to like, I think 1:30 or 2 in the morning. And they're good conversations, and conversations that you can't have willy-nilly everywhere. So like they're good conversations. And then we also put the Drake record on in the background. We're kind of listening in, checking, you know. So I enjoyed that a lot. But you had texted me because we had a disagreement about Batman and so on and so forth. And you had texted me with something that warmed my heart, and you said
I was thinking about it.
You said it's a bit late, but here's an answer about what I love, and it's you. I love you, man, and if I had to lose you so that you didn't have to suffer as a child and had a good mother, I'd give you up in a heartbeat. And I appreciate that. And I said I love you too, and I always will. And a lot of times I challenge you because I want you to find more that you love in this world, similar to what we just talked about in 45 minutes earlier. There's a lot to go around if you keep your eyes open. And what I wanted to say about that was more so about my mother situation, right? So it's a very kind thing to think, and it's a very kind gesture to make, and it's a kind words to read, and I appreciated it. But like, I wouldn't be me.
I know, but that's what like Michael Jackson wouldn't be Michael Jackson without Joe Jackson.
But I might have been a villain. You know, I couldn't have been a well-adjusted individual who's like a B employee. I don't think a B employee was ever in my future, Joey. But you know, like,
is a B employee better
than a C plus?
It starts with B. You know, but like, you know, like I don't love myself, but I am happy with, I'm not happy with everything about me, but I'm happy with who I am.
Yeah.
You know, the man that I became, I'm good with that. And I'll be honest with you, I had a conversation, it might have been with you, where I was like, I can spot a motherfucker almost instantly that has never seen a trial nor tribulation. You know, and they're usually a shell of a person. It's like you haven't cracked the shell, so I don't know what that yolk is like. You know, and like you gotta see people's yolk, so to speak, to see who they really are and what they're really made of. You know, and like, while yes, it sucked and it was torture, like, you know, hard times pass, but the tough will last. You know, like I made it through it, and like as a result, I think I'm fucked up by it. But isn't that better than being normal? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So like for like your career, like where you're at, I think you've done way more than most people have to improve your coworkers, their lives, their ability at the job. And I don't think you'd be that person if you had a normal quality upbringing. You might be a B or a employee, but you wouldn't have the effect, the lasting effect that you have.
I mean, I appreciate hearing that. You know, like that does mean a lot to me. Thank you. But like, you know, even like,
and I'm just saying, like, it's not the sum of you or any of us. To me, it's more about like the positive that anybody puts out, and that's better than you being better.
Yeah. Well, like, so I got two things on that. One, there's a guy I know, you know him too. He's a upper supervisor, Josh Z. I knew him when he was in the same level that I'm at. And he was intelligent, like so fucking intelligent, and the best kind of intelligence where they don't feel the need to show you how fucking intelligent they are all the time. They just want to kind of show you that you too can be intelligent. You know what I mean? Like the best. You know, I call him the secret weapon. You know, people have no idea his knowledge, skill, and ability. No idea. But he was fucking boring. He was a boring human being. Yeah. I appreciated everything he did for me, and I think the world of him professionally, but he was fucking boring. And then about 3-4 years ago, maybe even longer numbers, he had his shell cracked, and that yolk came out, and now he's interesting. Now there's shit going on with him. You know what I mean? And like, so I think that is a component of it, and like. I like that, like, I take refuge maybe or value that, like, every now and then people will come down to visit me, like from people from my past or people from my job that I don't normally work with that like they have the ability to move around, and they'll come down to visit me just to be like, hey man, I was thinking about something and I want your perspective on it because you don't look at the world the way normal people do, you know? And just that somebody would give enough of a fuck, you know, but I owe that in part, at least. And, you know, even if I had to ask Joey, if I had to think about it in terms of like, you know, like I know, I know that one of these is wrong. Okay. but just take this ride with me. Let me land on this one. I know that I wouldn't appreciate music, that music wouldn't mean as much to me without that woman in my life. And all the other shit aside, like who I became, the fact that I'm not right, but I'm interesting and shit like that I do value. Just the music component alone at 45, looking back on it. Now, maybe at 5, I would sing you a different song. If 5 wasn't great, but at 45, looking back on it, I'd do it 10 times over to have that in my life and have that mean what it means to me at 45. And also, like, you know, like my party nature, like my turn up nature, my like, let's laugh, let's have a good time, like the value that I put on a good time. Like my wife doesn't only values a good time in hindsight. She doesn't value the good time at the time. It's only like when she has a minute to reflect on it, she's like, fuck, I had a lot of fun and you forced me to have that fun. I was going to not have that fun because I'm tired and laundry has to get done and fucking, you know, I'm supposed to meal prep, not because we're fucking crossfitting, but because I'm even busier tomorrow, right? And you said, fuck all that shit. Let's have some fucking fun. And I'm smiling this morning where I would have been frowning. The shit didn't get done, and now there's some extra stress, but I'm facing that stress with a smile, you know? And, like, I wouldn't have that nature without her.
Yeah.
My father, he wants to move. I'm surprised he lives so close to a miniature golf course because he wants to get as far away from the fun as possible. You know? So, like, one of my supervisors, my first real supervisor, he wasn't technically my first supervisor, but my first real supervisor, like had a huge, big bro. He had a huge impact on me, like to a point where I started losing myself because of how much influence he was having on me, and I had to course correct. But like, I think the world of him, you know. But he's very much like my father, very much. And actually, he likes to have a good time more than my father, if that fucking gives you any indication of anything. But very serious guy, you know, all about responsibility, accountability, being a professional, you know, blah, 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 being a man, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And I went and visited him. He's retired and now lives in Ocean City. And he lives like a block away from the Jolly Roger, which is like an amusement park for my Russian listeners. And like, so I went to like visit him for the first time down there. And I was like, how the hell did you end up living so close to all this fun? And he just looked up at me. He's in the middle of working, obviously. Yep. And he looked up at me and he was like, just because you lived close to it doesn't mean you need to have any of it. And went, you know? So like, it's like, I don't know. In hindsight, man, like I think I went through some things that like, everybody does. No life is perfect, right? I went through some things that like I think had like a huge negative impact on me that like I don't know if there's any good that came out of it. And but none of those are really as impactful or as memorable as my mother's positives.
Yeah, but I mean, whether you think something good came out of it or not, I mean, they made you part of you. I've always said, if someone asks, you can change anything about your past, I'll say no, because any one small thing, I wouldn't be me exactly right now.
Right.
And I don't want that. But it's just a thought. Like I think my mind, my soul is just like it's not compatible with being a human. Like what I know what I want is not what we can or should have, because at the end, I've thought about this recently, especially like if I analyze and I can have what I want, we wouldn't be humans anymore. We would be machines, because it's part of the human condition as a species. Unfortunately, we can only have and feel the good and the happy in juxtaposition to the bad and the negativity. If I take away all pain and all suffering, there would be no joy and happiness.
Right.
That we would be just fucking robots.
Right.
So I understand that about myself and my wants, and that's why I cannot be satisfied, because what I want is also not good, right? So like I have to just exist.
Well, no, you can do that famous theme song. You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and then you have the facts of life. The facts of life. It's not just about me on my own, because everyone cares about them and their own. Like, I just don't like to see, I don't like there to be sadness and misery. Yeah. And suffering. And that just is. And that's just so much of it. But that's what makes you a good person. That's what makes you a good dude. So, like, I think that, like, so we do this thing. My kids turn me on to it, and ironically, don't judge. But my kids got turned on to it from some viral bullshit that probably has little to no meaning or interest.
Sounds like you're judging it right now.
Hey, let me be crystal clear. Like most things in my life, I'm judging the fuck out of it. But it's this thing that they've started doing. This we listen and we don't judge.
Yeah.
Right. Where we've only done it twice. But it's like when there's some shit going on and you got to get some shit off your chest and you can't handle the answering of what you should be doing, how you could fix it, how you could, you're just asking for someone to listen, right? So we listen and we don't judge, and we all go around and we all say something. And I'm trying to stall because I forget what the fucking point was to this that I was bringing up in the first place. Hold on a second. I got to go back and listen because I lost it. Hold on. So one of mine was, I am like, and trust me, you just like anything else, you want to give me 10 things that I can be critical of myself, I can rattle them off. I would be frustrated in figuring out which 10 to choose. Which might be one of my frustrations, being indecisive.
It's like a self-begetting.
Yeah. But I am also, I think I'm just a self-aware person. I'm aware of my strengths as well. But one of the things that I am very sharp on is reading people. Like every now and then I get it wrong, but sometimes I get it righter than rain. And my wife, so one of my listens and don't judge was, I was saying how I'm actually super complimented that my wife sometimes will ask me what's going on with them. Like we'll be at softball or whatever or something else. She'll be like, what is going on there? And she's asking me because she knows I might have a read on it. Right. It's like, it's like my mutant power, And anyway, we're supposed to listen and not judge. But my wife said, she was like, I do. And then she was like, you want to know something more fucked up about it? And I said, what? She was like, you're keener when you're fucked up. So I often wait until I can tell you're intoxicated. And then I'll ask you, like, what's going on with her? And you'll give me this answer where I'll be like, that's probably fucking right it. I say that to say this is, once again, like, I think that it's the balance, right? It's the balance of joy in your life, of joyful moments. And I think you're actually, like, subconsciously or maybe just inadvertently aware of it. Because, like, if Pinkerton at 11:45 p.m. after we finish up here is like, hey, you want to go to Waffle House? You're like, yep. Because I think, like, and I know you enjoy the waffles and all that shit, like, but I think also, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
And
or he's asking because he needs it.
Yep. That too.
Yeah. But I think often so yes, I'm not taking away from that, but like, I don't think Pinkerton ever goes to Waffle House to like get his feelings out. I don't think Pinkerton's a big like share my feelings kind of guy. It's very rare for him. But like, I think that it's an opportunity for you to get a little bit more enjoyment out of life.
Yep, I do. I mean, with the people I love, right?
Yeah.
I think the only thing that can solve my problem is if we do have like some AI overlord in the bad sense, or aliens in the bad sense. Because like I think I'd be satisfied if human suffering wasn't caused by humans. I think that's what it comes down to. I don't want us to be doing it to ourselves. If something else, if fucking dinosaurs start attacking people, whatever,
it's like the Watchmen. You have a common enemy.
Yeah, something you can unite against.
Yeah.
I don't want.
But I would say that the answer is really more pods.
More bro, you have no more.
I know, but I think but it's the same thing, right? Wherever I'm like we should get together and like watch a movie. You're like, yep,
I'm down.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying, and I am too. Yeah. It's just a matter of working it out. But like
with the other 86 podcasts,
yeah. But it's not even so much just that, but it's like just working out the logistics to make it work independent of anything else. But like, but I think this because this nature, there's a nature in you that like wants more good times and joy, and yes, with people you love, but I mean that's usually part of it. Like I have a lot of joy and fun in my life. It's definitely not with people I hate.
I think it's because there's so few people I love that I cherish my time with them. I don't think fondly of most people,
but I think that's a lot of people though. Yeah. Like I think a lot of people feel that way. I think a lot of people like I'm blessed that like my job offers like a huge network of people that vary in my feelings towards them, but almost at minimum I find 80% of them interesting. You know, if some of them for like friendship and some of them as like specimens. you know,
and for some of those you're welcome.
yeah. But I mean, and I want that for you too. Sometimes I often will feel like I really want to get this movie thing going.
Yeah.
But I know Gary really wants to be a part of it because Gary really loves movies, and he has some like in his pocket that like nobody really knows that he's like, man, this would be a good, like, and I've never seen where he's like, he wants to share it the same way I want to share True Romance, like that same sort of like passion or whatever. But like, I feel like it's one of those things like right now I have, so many, like I have a kitchen table episode with this guy, Benny, that like I've been trying to work out and I just can't get the fucking logistics to work out, but it's weighing on me. I have another kitchen table episode that I want to do with Bean and two other guys that he's already got lined up, and I just can't work the scheduling out of, but it's just weighing on me in the back of my head of this other thing.
Is this the how-to one?
No. It's just two. He's got two older guys to offer that have a relationship, and he's a connect for it, and he's been great to helping with all that. But and that's just one of many things. And then there's like I got packages right now that got to get sent back to Robert. I know they got to get sent back to Robert. Like he trusted me with them, and I can't get them to the fucking post office, But like even like doing more things with you is another thing that's weighing on me. And I don't mean weighing on me like I feel obligated to do it. It's just that I also want to do it, and I also want you to have those moments too. You know what I mean? But like it's just working that shit out.
You're busy guy.
Same reason why I want you to like come to a fucking softball game.
At the 2 Saturdays I was off this month. It's a 2 Saturdays there was no games.
Yep. And now she's hurt, so I don't know. I don't know what she's gonna do. But I've been pushing that for years.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, because I think that you'll enjoy seeing.
I'm sure I will.
But I like. Getting you to do things that you have fun doing, it has been at the top 10 of my priority list for years.
I'm fine, Bobby.
You just clearly said today you are not fine.
I'm fine.
You actually almost said those exact words. You said, I'm having an existential crisis.
But I have been, though. That's nothing new.
And I have been for years, too. Not having an existential crisis, but trying to provide more
it's
things. It's
not your responsibility. You provide me 3 hours of this every week. That's more than anybody does.
But that's how I act as a friend.
Yeah.
You know. Anything else, Pharaoh?
Oh, I don't think so.
All right. I think we can wrap it up there. I'll give you all my pizza reviews.
Well, so
next week.
What did you think of the Drake album? We didn't.
Yeah.
Was it a slam dunk?
Not for me. So he put out 3 albums, which
I haven't heard much of it on my feed, so I don't know how that doesn't bode well usually.
So I think it's historic in that he dropped 3 albums at one day, and it potentially could get him out of a record deal. Like I think that.
I thought it was a historic waste of time.
So one album is kind of like an electro pop. It's kind of like he made 3 albums for his 3 different fan groups. Like, you know, like the one is like in the Hotline Bling category. I have no time for that shit. Not interested at all. One is like more of his R&B melodic kind of girl driven bag. I have no real interest in that either.
There's a song on that one called WNBA.
Yeah,
Your favorite.
That's also where he and Schultz said he could beat every one of those players one-on-one. It's the same type of music that he makes, where I say that he makes music for grown men that keep stuffed animals on the bed. It's like a whole album of that. So I don't really have any interest in that either. And then he has like the rap album, which is Iceman, right? And so I'm torn on it. I'll probably I didn't get anything off of it. I didn't like anything enough to get anything off of it. But
and to be fair, you've listened more than just the first initial listen through that we.
Correct. I listened to it twice.
Yeah.
Well, I always try to do that with like real music, like, you know what I mean? Because like or hate Drake, he's not 600 Breezy, and poor 600 Breezy, he catches a lot of strays on this show, and I don't even know if it's a real rapper, but it might be. But like, because it's possible that I just made that name up, but it's also possible it's somebody's album I came across and just committed it to memory of like, you're now my guy.
you're the
this
butt of the joke.
Yep. But so like, I think that with real music, and I think Drake is really making music, whether you like it or not, separate. Yeah. I tend to not. It deserves a headphone listen, so I gave it a headphone listen also, and he is rapping at an extraordinary caliber on this album. Like some of like the wordplay stuff and double entendres and double entendres that kind of go on for a long time, where it's like, damn, that was 4 bars, and that same 2 meanings coexist throughout all 4 bars. Like, it's exceptional rapping. I hate the music on that motherfucker. Yeah. Like, I hate the sonic sound of it. Like, it's one of my criticisms of rap in general these days. Like, not all of it, obviously, but a lot of it is that, like, if I say, like, if you tell me to hum Shook Ones, right? Like doom 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 Cream, you know, I could do the same thing, and Triumph, and you know, I could hum all of these records, no problem. Le Fleur Le Flash Goshka from Boot Camp Click, doom 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 doom. I can just do it because those records are identifiable. And so much of this like recent rap music has been so atmospheric, where it doesn't have an identity. And that's been my biggest criticism of it. So I'm torn on it. I would give it a 5 out of 10 because I think the lyricism on it is like the song writing of it is a 10 out of 10 performance over really subpar music that doesn't seem memorable to me.
Yeah. So like, I was thinking about when we listen after dark, and it's like
2 grown men listening to Drake at night is also something I'm not crazy about that I've done in 2026, but I did it.
we were having another conversation.
Yeah, that's what I tell people too.
But if I didn't have the phone on and could see that it went to a new song,
yeah.
Like it's the same sound.
Yeah.
Just background noise.
Just that it all sounds similar, and once again, nothing stands out to me.
So I'll tell you, the person producing the beats doesn't deserve $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah. And probably got it.
You know, it was just very, it was a 90-minute song.
Yeah. He did this one thing. I can't recite the bar because I only listened to it twice, and you know, I didn't, but he did this one whole flip of, So he got into a beef during the whole Kendrick thing with Rick Ross, right? And he has helped project Rick Ross's career because Drake was a star and Rick Ross was like a respected rapper, and Drake worked with him, and it helped project fucking Ross's career to a higher level because now he's dealing with a star, right? Yeah. And he did this whole flip, and it went on for a while, but he did this whole thing of like, the streamer Aiden Ross, but he did this whole flip, but basically where like the end punchline is, I was Aiden Ross before Ross was born, or something like that. You know what I mean? And like, so like, or I was Aiden Ross before Aiden Ross was born. Saying that he was aiding Rick Ross before Aiden Ross was born. But there's a lot of really smart songwriting stuff that he does in that shit, and I just wish it was over production that like. And
I wish his delivery was memorable.
Yeah, he's a monotone kind of rapper in general. So yeah. So, with that,
no questions.
No questions. I'll double check.
You can tell people how to send questions.
Yeah, you're right.
You can email us at nerdrageradiomail@gmail.com.
So, shout out to Phil on our notes and on Twitter, and shout out to Dante on Facebook. And with that,
flappy labius,
moist thighs,
tight dick player.